Good morning. Is it morning? Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lebo Mokwele, the principal of Topodi Primary School. Our school is situated in an informal settlement at Etwatwa East in Davidton. So most of our parents are unemployed. Poverty is the order of the day. And our learners, most of them are orphans. They are raised by grandparents and guardians. And most of the parents are killed by HIV and AIDS. And we have learned again that some of our parents are also HIV positive. So we are a full service school. We are dealing with learners with barriers to learning. And most of our other schools surrounding our area are referring their children to our school. So we were thinking that they are referring learners with barriers to learning, only to find that they also refer learners with behavioral problems. So you can imagine the situation we are in. So if you are in such a situation, you need to be an effective leader. Over to you, Dave.
Thanks, Lebo. So just by way of introduction to myself, for those of you who don't know me, I retired from Anglo-American just over a year ago, and with my time in Anglo, I actually did a whole range of jobs, and I think it's positioned me quite well to share some of the things that I learned after nearly 40 years of work in the mining industry to a completely different part of life. So here I am now in the PFP program, and it's a great place, I can tell you.
Okay. The first slide? Okay. Why are we here? Basically, after the background, is an indication that I must learn every day. I must be developed every day to be an effective leader. So we are here to share good practices and to develop one another. So the aim of joining was that I wanted to be an excellent leader. And I wanted to be, and that will lead my staff in an exceptional way that will benefit the school and improve the learner performance. These are the staff members. You can see I was supposed to be wearing my t-shirt. Unfortunately, I'm from the funeral, so I realized that I will be late. So I couldn't wear my t-shirt, to be like the staff members. So the idea is for these staff members to be effective and for these learners to benefit out of my development.
So why am I here? So if I go back a little way, I was educated at a state school in the UK, and I went to university in the UK. It was completely free, and it was at zero cost to my parents, which was just as well, because they certainly couldn't have afforded to send me to university. And what I experienced was a quality, accessible education that was available to every child in society. And that's been and having received an education like that, it's been the cornerstone upon which I've built my life and the life of our family, and it's been essential. Now, I believe that education is really part of the foundation of nation building, and in South Africa, that is really what we need more than anything else. I'm also angry. I'm angry at what is being offered to our citizens at the moment compared with what I received as a citizen of another country. This is deeply, deeply unfair, and it's something which has to be fixed. And like Abby said, it's no good sitting on the sidelines and complaining. You've actually got to get up there and do something. As my life changed, moving from employment into so-called retirement, there's an opportunity for me to make my contribution, and I want to do something with my head, my heart, and also with my hands. And I went to a PFP information session, and it ticked all the boxes, and in fact it ticked them twice. So here I am. The program has suited me perfectly. It's been fantastic for the transition from work life into the next phase.
Okay. How did we get started? our district is Gauteng East. So as Gauteng East schools, we used to get invitation to attend PFP's leadership seminars. So I used to attend a lot. And one day I wanted to know what is it that you need to do in order for you to be to have a partner. So I was introduced by, Dina introduced Dave Morris to our school as our partner. That is how it started. And immediately, we started with our partnership, the next day, actually. So I called an SMT meeting, and I introduced and invited Dave, and fortunately, he did not just look at us and say nothing about it, but he added value to our SMT members. The next day, we had our staff meeting, that is the SMT meeting here. The next day, we had our staff meeting. We invited Dave again, and we had our SGB meeting. And I said, teamwork begins with building trust. I started trusting Dave, the way he was conducting himself. We even invited him when we had our finance committee meeting. You know, when you deal with finances, you don't want any other person from outside to be part. But realizing that now he is part of the school, he is no more a stranger. That is why we invited him at our finance committee meeting. And we were also invited by UNISA there. And it was extremely cold. And I thought maybe Dave will never come. But I heard him calling me, say, please give me direction. What he was doing here is what he used to do and ask direction from me. So it means whatever we are doing, we are used to it. So he was able to, it was at Springs, it was at Guatemala. It was extremely cold that we even shared a blanket together because it was very cold. So it was an indication that we are really in partnership. You know, I regarded him not only as my partner, but also my brother, because I used to share, you know, big things with him. My personal problems, I will cry, and he will tell me that it will be fine. And we even extended our partnership, I don't see it here, to our families. I did not know Priscilla, but Dave invited me. We were having, something at cinema. There we are. It is myself and my husband, and Dave and his better half. So we shared, you know, jokes, and it was a wonderful evening.
I can't read without these things. So a couple of things which I can use to support what Lebo has said. That, I mean, the first thing really has been how welcome I've been into the Tupori community. Everybody has really been very, very warm and welcoming. And they've shown me trust, which I really didn't expect at all. I don't feel that I've earned it, but we're certainly getting on extremely well. The thing which struck me about the school right from that very first meeting was the passion that is given at Tupori to learners with barriers, those who don't have adequate nutrition, those without parents, those without the basics in life. And you know, the staff and the team at Tupori go that extra mile to look and for those who are at the bottom of the tree and help them wherever they can. Lebo made reference to something that we did together with our families. The first event we did was we attended the premiere of Beyond the River. It was you would have seen that movie, and we watched it. And it's about the canoeing. And halfway through, you know, the canoe is about to go down the rapids into the pump house, and Lebo put across to me, and she said, "Dave, it's me and you in the canoe." and it's been very much like that. You know, there's been all sorts of troubles ahead, but we've seen somehow the canoe has stayed upright, and we're going along quite nicely at the moment.
That is our journey together. Maybe let me add something from the journey. We started with our strategic planning, and he facilitated the process. And it was for the first time at our school, all our staff members attended. It was Saturday, and they attended, all of them. And it shows that, you know, he added value to our school. And there, when we had that strategic planning, we identified some areas that we are weak as a school. One of the things was, it was reading. And immediately after identifying those areas, I see time there. After identifying those areas, we started having our reading caucus. No, we organized the reading caucus for our learners. We organized on Mondays and Fridays, learners are still reading at assembly. And on Tuesday, for 30 minutes, it is drop everything and read. And then on Wednesdays, extracurricular activities, we do have other educators who concentrate more on reading. On Thursdays, we were having the reading clubs. So it means from Monday up to Friday, we had time to read. And then the strategic planning. Okay, as a school, we were nominated as the primary school of the year. Unfortunately, we were unable to go to the elections. But if we continue with partnership, I know that 2018 will go through the elections. And one of our educators was also nominated as the coach of the year, nominations. So 2017, it was nominations, 2018 is going to be elections. So I hope 2019, we are going to get position 1 through partnership. We also have problems with our learners that are sexually abused. We have realized that when we were at our strategic planning, immediately we organized the police. I think you saw the picture there with the police. We organized the police. We wanted them to come to school in the morning to ensure that, to ensure safety of our learners, and after school again to ensure safety of our learners. And we realized again that our learners are coming late to school. So as with partnership, we went to Kellogg's, because we know that if we are providing breakfast for these learners, they will come to school early. So we went there, gave letters to Kellogg's, but we were still waiting for the response.
I was wondering whether you were going to give that to me at all, Lebo. So we've run well over our time, but there are just a couple of things that we really have to say before we wrap up. The first thing that I want to say is about things that I've learned. I think that the experience at Tapodi with Lebo and myself is, you know, it's completely dispelled the single story about government schools. Going around the suburbs, the single story is that government schools are no good. They're filled with lazy people who don't want to work. It's just completely wrong. And if you ever hear that single story in your circles, I urge you to tear it down, because it is not correct. Tapodi and all of the schools in our learning circle are composed of people who care deeply about the children whose care they're entrusted with, and they need our support and assistance. They don't need the perpetuation of this single story. For myself, I've learned about the importance of listening. My wife will probably disagree with that, but and also, you know, it's important that you show up and you're available. And just reiterating some of the points that others made, is that the power of this learning circle together is fantastic. These are people that we can count upon, and we get support from, you know, on a regular basis. I know that anyone in our circle, I can call upon them, and they will help us if we need it.
In conclusion, let me say, possibility was created in this partnership. We have so much to say. Unfortunately, time is against us. I remember when I was in hospital, when I was admitted, they came, both Dave and Priscilla, and Dave was asking the sisters there, where is Lebo Mokwele? And I was admitted at maternity ward. So as they were asking, he answered them and said, "No, I am her partner." And on the other hand, on the other hand, he was carrying chocolates and a book as a present. They were thinking, "Are you a pastor?" So they don't know, are you a partner or a pastor? What partner? So there is possibility in partnership. Can I, before giving Dave, thank Dina for introducing Dave to us, and thank Dave for the support. It is a job well done. Priscilla, thank you very much for allowing your husband to work with Topodi Primary School. And I also want to thank my husband for allowing me to work with Dave. Thank you very much.
And then just a final word of thanks. It's really, Dina, I think you don't realize how important your role is in all of this. So thank you for that. And we're really counting on you to take the circle forward into the next phase, which is a bit of an experiment. So we're looking forward to that. I have to say thanks to Anglo for stumping up the money, which is good. But most importantly, it's Lebo and the Topodi community who've really made this thing for me really special. So Lebo, thanks so much for the whole year. It's been just wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can do it.
Yes, before introducing the next one, I just want to say thank you to Mike. Our grade R learners were situated in an HOD's room because we did not have an accommodation for them. And he came at the right time because parents were about to toi. And we were at our PFP meeting, and Mike said, anybody who needs, mobile classrooms. You know, I was the first to say, it's me. And I received 2 mobile classes from PFP. It is greatly appreciated. Peter made it possible for us as a school to be able to dismantle those prefabs and to assemble them again. Without PFP, that wouldn't be possible. So we do have those prefabs, and let me tell you, educators are fighting over those prefabs. Everybody wants to use those prefabs. And I really admire Peter. Very intelligent, quiet, but when he talks, the earth will shake. You will hear him as he is ascending the stage. Thank you.
So Peter's partner is Zaleka, and she's not here, but there is a video with her. The point I would like to share with you about Zaleka is that she was instrumental in the success of the Learning Circle. Right at the beginning, in our Time to Think workshop, she kind of exposed her heart and shared her heart with us, which I think really set the tone for the future conversation. So without that big leap of faith that she showed us, I think we wouldn't have done really how well we did. So well done, Zaleka, and well done, Peter. Over to you.